What up, everybody? Welcome to the IAG Thursday Thing. This thing that we do every Thursday, even when it's late. We kind of missed our time frame today because we are at the PRI show. I'm in the room with my partner in crime, Warranty. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. We had some delicious food. We had some delicious boba tea afterward, and now we're having a podcast in a hotel room.
Lovely downtown Indianapolis, Indiana.
That's right. We've made it. This is celebrity shit right here.
I'm convinced this is the only city in Indiana that claims to be Indiana because everywhere else they call it some other state. So if you get up near Michigan, they call it Michiana.
That's right.
If you get near Ohio, they call it Ohioana. If you get down in the south side of the state, they call it Kentuckiana.
Really?
Iliana. Oh, yeah.
I heard of Iliana and Michiana, but not the other two.
You're either from Indianapolis or you're from something-ana.
Wow. I thought it was just Michiana and Iliana.
This state's weird. Okay? I'm just going to throw it out there. Y'all are strange in Indiana. I love you, but you're weird. Yep. We're also joined in the room. We're all staying in the same room by executive producer Jordan.
Howdy.
Shout out to EPJ.
And he is
thank you.
He is literally doing executive producer stuff. He's on the soundboard, flipping switches and doing stuff right now. He's trying to make the sound effects work better. It's a work. We'll see. Hopefully that works. I can't hear it anyway.
It sounded good on my end, so
Good.
And then we also in the room is Jeremy Bailey, who does not have a mic.
Juice.
He's race car FA24 swap club TR badass Jeremy Bailey.
Yeah, you probably could. You could probably Bluetooth that into the soundboard.
He could probably just hop on.
Or just hop on the Discord. Yeah, go sit in the bathroom, sit on the toilet.
Yeah, go sit in the toilet.
Echo.
If it turns echoey, we'll just kick you.
Yeah.
Or mute yours.
Yeah. Jordan's got the headset.
And then
on.
we always have to thank for making our amazing thumbnails. Even though I didn't put the thumbnail up today, I'll still end up using it. Randy makes our thumbnails.
Ooh, shout outs to Randy. He did it in advance.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm like, I need a PRI thumbnail, and he's like, what do I make for it? I'm like, I just gave him a random like PRI like floor picture.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just use this and say like PRI, like PRI show or whatever.
Oh, good.
We'll make it work.
Good. Shout outs to Randy.
Yep.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah. We day one of PRI's down. We were only there for about half the day, but we saw some cool stuff. Warranty, you showed up a little bit later, but that's because the weather was ass.
Weather was bad, so that cost me about 45 minutes on the highway. Saw a bunch of cars spin out and hit the ditch. And then a little bit of snow hit the ground, and everybody decided to go about 35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So, but part of the reason why I was late was I was picking up your hero cards, which I do every PRI. Yeah, they're in the room.
Dude, we should open those up while we're chilling and see how cool they are.
That's a great idea. Juice, you see it's over by EPJ. Go get the cardboard box.
Yeah, you even got that cool knife.
Use your Harbor Freight. Oh, you guys are fighting over which knife to open the box with.
We're using
Harbor Freight.
Harbor Freight knives getting used.
Harbor Freight knives getting used. Okay.
So
you have Justin Gora is who put it together for you?
Justin Gora put them together for me. He's the guy who's been doing them for me for years. So last week was Black Friday. Oh, let's take a look at these. The picture's really good.
The paper quality. Oh my gosh, these hero cards.
These are sick.
Dude.
Somebody needs to take a picture of one of these and put it up in the chat.
Oh,
and if anybody in the chat wants one of these, we will hook you up. Why are you showing it's literally a crotch pic of me? This is so funny.
Oh, did this
get you covered up just right so it
that is quite sick.
Yep, this looks good. This looks really good. The text is easy to read and it's very glossy.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Right. So these are sick. Pretty happy about those. If anybody wants one of those, hit me up in the chat or email me.
I'll bring back 50 to Chicagoland.
But those are pretty sick. Either way, Thanksgiving just went by. What'd you do for Thanksgiving?
I went to my mom's house with Sparkles. It was great. My mom doesn't cook very much, but
I forgot Sparkles. Is that the first time your mom met Sparkles?
No, she's been there before.
Okay, how?
My mom's kind of autistic, so they got along great.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, because Sparkles is autistic.
Okay,
so.
I love it.
Yeah. So
I think your mom is actually full blast autistic. But
Yeah.
it's okay.
yeah, yeah.
We say kind of because she probably doesn't want to admit it because she's of that generation.
So yeah, that generation just didn't get diagnosed, especially women. But she's like full blown, like
she's
all of it.
she's got the tism.
Yeah, I got half of it. But
Yes, she did.
she's got all of it. So Sparkles has got all of it, and that's why they get along great. So
that's awesome.
my mom cooked, which is very rare for her, but she had a great time. We had a great time. We took the train to get there. Sparkles loves trains.
Yeah.
And then my mom picked us up from the train station.
Did I ever bring you to Thanksgiving with my family before?
You sure did.
Okay, so you have been there when we play Screw Your Neighbor.
Yes.
Okay, so you understand how intense Screw Your Neighbor gets in my family.
Yeah, all the games, like board games you play, they're all really intense.
Yeah, but Screw Your Neighbor with our entire like 30-person family playing, we have a trophy and everything for it. It is a very big deal.
Yeah.
Megan won this year, my wife.
Wow.
It was insane.
All right.
We all went crazy. It was really
Is
good.
she normally a contender or no?
She tends to get to like the top 10 and then fall out. She's never won it.
Oh wow. All right.
I was hoping to be the first three. Well, the second 3-time. I'm a 2-time right now.
Okay.
You need to talk to me with respect to your voice.
The 2-time.
So Black Friday came and went. And holy shit. Black Friday was crazy. We sold a lot of engines. A lot of engines.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. It was a really good time though. We sold a whole heap of engines. I talked to a lot of people who were thinking about building stuff finally decided to, get it done, which was cool. Maybe save a couple extra bucks.
Yeah. You love to see it.
Yeah, it was overall, I think the sale was good. Right after the sale ended though, I don't believe this was by design. Oh yeah, let's talk about this too. We tore through our stock of Fortune Autos.
Really?
Yeah, our Fortune Auto IAG collaboration coilovers, we absolutely shredded. We absolutely shredded the
inventory
of them.
Nice.
Like our VB inventory gone, VA gone.
Wow.
Like GD really close.
Wow.
And what we were really surprised by, at least I was surprised by, is I think the only ones that we have some stock in right now are GRs. Which we figured those would be actually one of the faster movers.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
that was from Black Friday or unrelated?
well, we had a small influx before Black Friday, like new product. Okay, and then they were selling good.
Yeah.
And then Black Friday hit and they were gone.
Nice.
Like gone.
What did you guys put them up for on Black Friday? Like what was the sale?
I don't know, it was like 10 off or something like that.
Oh, that's not bad.
It wasn't like insane, but we don't put stuff on sale.
No.
We don't go on sale.
No, it's IAG.
So when we go on sale, everybody loses their mind.
Yeah. Oh, good deal.
Either way, right after Black Friday, we released some new product, which is really, we got some really cool, exciting stuff. I don't know if I was talking to you about this or not, but we're working hand in hand with Nostrum now. So we're doing fuel pumps and fuel injectors for FA20s, which already existed. It's Nostrum's already existing stuff.
Right.
But then we also have, and I'm pretty sure we're exclusive on them, the FA24 pumps and injectors. And they managed to get quite a bit more juice out of the FA24 stuff.
Good deal.
The FA20 stuff is super compelling because one, with the pump and the injectors, you're pretty much good to run E85 on around 400 or less. Okay.
Which is all the engine's going to take anyway.
Yeah,
Stock
which
motor.
is what you put an IAG 600 in it or something like that. It's like a great setup. Okay.
Right.
But the FA24 stuff is rowdy. So they're claiming, I want to go down here. On gasoline, you could do 600 wheel.
What? Just from flow? What?
Yeah. No, this is injectors and pump together.
Okay.
600 wheel.
Oh my gosh.
And on straight E85, which is really hard to do because it takes a ton more flow. They're claiming 480 wheel.
Okay. So a lot of people are going to run ethanol for the safety.
Yeah, but if somebody's looking for big power, they're not going to be scared to run 100 octane.
Right. No, yeah, you did that to great effect in Grid
gotta
Light
do what
3.
you gotta do.
You got to do it. $8
You know,
a
and
gallon.
I think I don't know, that's sick. I don't know why you would want, honestly, any more than 480 in your WRX, because your
That's
trans is gonna hate life.
right, but that's a hoot. That's
But
a
600, that's big power,
yeah. That's a good setup. Wow, it doesn't
which
take
is
very much.
awesome, because I can't say for sure, but I can say in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna have built blocks for FA24s
Oh boy.
with fire locks.
Really?
Yes, and
Okay.
14 mil head studs.
You're going to break so many transmissions.
Oh my god, we're gonna break all the transmissions. So I'm excited to see now that there's gonna be a really solid option for FA24 guys.
Yeah.
We've already done testing on the product. We've got a few guys out there running it, really beating the hell out of these things.
Nice.
How far that platform gets pushed. I think the new WRX is there's going to be a pretty serious influx of people getting rowdy with those things. Now that they can, now that there's a path for it, I think it's going to get nuts. I'm so excited to see what these guys do. Honestly, kind of want one.
It's a compelling car now.
It really is for a daily.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it would do everything the Crosstrek that I have would do with more power.
Yes. No
It even gets the
CVTs.
gas mileage.
Those CVTs are rated pretty far, all things considered. There's a huge safety margin. Come on.
Manual only.
But it's a.
I cannot believe you'd even say CVT to me.
I wouldn't say
What are you even
CVT
talking-
versus an STI.
Why would you say CVT?
But it's not an STI. It's a WRX.
I still want to enjoy.
They put 6-pot Brembos on a WRX. That is shameful.
I agree with that. I think that's ridiculous. But what I can say is I have a manual Crosstrek also, and I
Yeah.
love it.
But that's
So why wouldn't I like my manual WRX?
that's a totally different thing
Why? It's
because
a totally different thing.
because it's a Crosstrek, and Crosstrek is always slow, and you don't buy a Crosstrek to have any driving enjoyments. You put a manual in it, and then you have a great time.
I really
all the
enjoy
time.
driving my Crosstrek.
Oh. Yeah, yes, because it's slow and it's got a manual.
This is coming from a man we just had almost an hour conversation with,
Oh my gosh.
who will not turn the traction control off in his damn car when he gets into it. You own a BRZ
Hold
with a
on.
manual. Turn the damn traction control off. It takes you 2 seconds. It ain't even like you got to do a pedal dance. anymore.
Context needed. So when I'm commuting, when I'm going someplace and I'm just like getting on it for 5 seconds, I'm not gonna turn off the traction control. But when I'm doing any kind of shenanigans, I'm going to track mode or party mode.
Even in my BRZ, that for me to completely turn it off, if I'm ripping around the corner to go to Walmart, 10 seconds
I know
away,
you do. I know
I
you
get
do.
in and it is second nature for me to hold the button.
Yes.
I don't leave until those, because I got to wait for the car to warm up anyway.
Right. Wait, you're just holding the button? You're not pedal dancing?
I'm not doing full pedal dance because I have to get it all the way to temp to do pedal dance.
Okay.
It's really hard for me to do a pedal dance, or I do
Okay.
it.
But
For
you
you,
would-
it's not.
Okay, so I'm actually arguing against my own point, which is I don't do it unless I'm doing known shenanigans. So I commuted here.
Every time you get in that car, this is my point. If there wasn't known shenanigans happening, okay,
Yeah.
you should own a Camry. Every time you get in that car, it is shenanigans.
That's true. That's the
Then
way.
what?
You're not wrong. You're not
I'm
wrong.
right.
I can't argue with this. I just don't do it. Like
Then do
I-
it.
you know,
Make it a part of your routine.
you know that I really like stability control when I'm
Fix
just
your
like
routine.
accidentally on the highway in a snowstorm and people are spinning out in front of me. Then yeah, I want the computer to save me. But like,
Then you can turn it back on when the weather goes to shit.
okay, but as an insurance,
You know what you
nerd-
should do?
What
You've got good tires.
I do.
You should put a nice diff in it.
I should put a nice.
Okay,
difference.
so let's say you put a nice diff in it
Yep.
because you're a driver, and I'm gonna give you credit. You're a good driver. Okay,
Thanks.
so you're a good driver. You're not gonna want that intervention. You're just gonna enjoy the traction that is given to you by now having your differential locking the way it should.
Track.
No, 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 no.
Track mode.
Driving down the road when shit's shit outside. I'm telling
Really?
you, especially since you have good tires. Now, if you were driving around with all seasons and that shit,
Yeah.
I could understand maybe wanting the computer to help out.
Okay.
But since you have winter tires on that,
Yes.
I think you would be better off.
Okay, that's a really good point. But you would need like a gnarly diff that.
A,
Like,
a decent diff.
Yeah.
It's going to help a lot, especially in like shit snow where you know how you can use the throttle to rotate the car and point it where you want to
I
go.
love that feeling.
You can't do that with intervention.
No, you're not wrong. So here's the thing. The reason this all came up today was I was getting out on the highway along a long sweeper, and I noticed the LSD, brake-based LSD, intervening. So it's trying to rotate the car, even though I'm just on an on-ramp, essentially. And it's not a good feeling.
It's trying to keep... No, it really is trying to keep from
It's
rotating
dragging the inner rear wheel. No way.
Yeah.
It's trying to like prevent understeer is what it feels like.
No.
Really?
No. It's trying to keep you straight, and this is the reason I hate those systems.
Oh,
No, I'm not. No, I want
okay.
you to understand there are different levels to this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like if you buy a Porsche Boxster or Cayman, okay, they have, if you don't have one with their actual LSD, their brake-based LSD,
Yeah.
that is trying to rotate the car.
Okay.
Do not get it confused with Subaru trying to make sure you don't kill yourself.
So
All that's it. Believe me, they don't want you to rotate. Rotating is not what they want you to do. Yes.
the light was not coming on because that's different. That's a different feeling where it says no. It smacks you. This is where the rear of the car, like the inner wheel gets a little lighter than you're expecting, even though I am turning a left turn, for example. Long sweeping left turn. And it says, "Oh, you want more?" And I'm telling you,
No.
it's dragging the brake to give you a little more.
You're thinking, I'm sorry, I don't agree with you.
I've had this feeling on track as well. And when I go to pedal dance full off, I call it party mode. It doesn't do that anymore. So it's the same feeling. I'm just not expecting that on the street ever. I like it kind of on the track, and then I get bored and I want to go faster. Traction control, everything on, brake LSD on. Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
I totally. The
Okay.
problem we're having, just so you know, we're all in this room.
Yeah.
They can't hear him.
I know. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Bailey doesn't have a mic. Okay.
Bailey's over here without a mic, basically. But I agree with what Bailey is essentially saying is the car is trying to save you, and it is trying to save you. I love these arguments with you because you were totally like
thinking one thing, and
you are the enthusiast. You are the enthusiast that Subaru wants to exist.
Yeah. I think maybe you just don't know the car is doing something goofy and it's trying to save you from yourself.
Well, okay. So the time that this went wrong was when I had the STI with really bitey brake pads and a bigger rear sway bar, where I took an on-ramp really hard and the brake or whatever stability control kicked on and caused the car to slide because the brakes were bitier than stock and the sway bar was thicker than stock in the back, so more rotation.
I don't know how to answer that. It's still trying to save you, and it's not.
It's trying to save you, and I don't think what you think is happening is what's happening.
Yeah, I'll come back with
Okay. I mean, this felt a lot weaker, of course, because it was all stock setup. Nothing has changed. You know, brake pads are OEM.
Either way,
your traction.
We need to go all the way back to the beginning of this. You need to turn your shit off, or you need to buy a Camry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all wheel speed based stuff. So if it sees weird things going on with each corner, then it's going to try and save you.
Yeah.
And brakes probably shouldn't really matter because it's going to see the wheel speed slow down wherever it's trying to save you.
You're going to have. I see what he's saying is it's using because it can activate an individual brake to try to get the car. It's a stability management.
It's a slight.
And what you are getting is stability management kicking in, so you understand. Okay. It's not traction control, it's stability management. Something was happening that was freaking it out. It was freaking out stability management. Anytime it's applying a brake, I'm going to get annoyed.
I agree. There is more than just stability control stop a slide. Like the BRZ has brake LSD. It's got a limited slip differential, and then when you have traction control on and track mode, not party mode, there is a brake component that is what Subaru is selling. We're having this argument, which is
how many times have I been right on this argument?
So the car,
every single time we've had this argument,
the attitude of the car on track is different on track mode because of this stability control, or I'm sorry, brake LSD. They reduce stability control so you can slide the car but not spin it, but you can do more. But then when you turn on party mode, it understeers more because it doesn't have any rotation.
You know who we
coming
need to
it.
have on here to have this conversation?
Mike McGinnis.
We need to have Mike McGinnis on because Mike McGinnis understands the system better than both you or I by a long shot.
Yes, because
He understands this shit.
Yeah.
So we need to bring him on. Maybe we have an actual conversation on what stability control is. That might be a very, very good conversation.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I'm not trying to just eat what the manual says or what the marketing copy says, but this is what I'm feeling through the seat. The car rotates differently when stability control is on.
So in the second gens and the first gens, you had like track or what do you call it? Traction control off. And then you had like VSC mode, which was a slightly less intrusive, but helped you save you. Is that something that the second gens have?
Yes.
Is that something that's just always on in this now, and that's what you're feeling?
No, it's not. Well, it gets turned off when you do the pedal dance in the first gen, or you just long press the button, which I call party mode. You can call it drift mode or whatever. When you do that, this system that I'm talking about turns off. When you're on track mode, it's half off. It's non-pedal dance. It's VSC.
It's like it gets rid of traction control, but keeps stability management on in some way.
And so you can slide a little bit.
Yeah.
But it still checks up on you.
Correct. And it'll do that. But this is a separate system to that because
it's still the reason that system exists isn't entirely for performance. It's so you don't wad your car up.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's always on.
It's until you do the pedal dance, then it's off.
Then it's properly off.
Then it's properly off. So what I'm describing is just a little more rotation out of the rear, not very much.
Spent way too much time talking on the subject.
Okay.
You're probably right. It just sounds like you don't have to press the button that the first gens had to press to get to where you're at.
Yeah.
You're just always there.
No, I think
it's
there's
the same.
more to it.
It's the same. Normal, track mode, and then
I swear to God, if we stay on the subject any longer,
I'll
pull my eyeballs out.
So, all right, we talked about Nostrum.
Yeah.
Oh, can we talk about sequentials?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a bad one. I'm just looking at my list. Part of these things are censored.
Oh man, that's slightly censored. Yeah, I think we're gonna hold off on that. Okay. But I can say that here's what I'll say. I'll skirt around the rules of that. Okay. Because I have said a little bit on this before. That's more of a grid life. Tomorrow morning is a grid life meeting.
Okay. What time?
11.
Okay, so
we need a lot of new and interesting things may open up. What I can tell you is not much has changed within Street Mod, the class we run. There has been some pretty serious rule changes in some other classes. That's something we can definitely talk about.
Okay.
But the wording of certain things have not changed. And I have some people in agreement that I may or may not be able to do certain stuff to the vehicle. Okay. I can't say what we're doing, how we're doing it, how it would be legal.
All right.
But I can tell you there could be interesting stuff coming for Boogie.
Okay.
Okay.
Before 11, we need to go to somebody.
Yes, we're going to go do that.
First thing in the morning, I'm going to get my coffee next to the church.
Yes.
And then we're going to go
tomorrow. I'll just say it. We're going to go talk to Link ECU.
Okay.
Okay. Link's been doing some really cool stuff with first gen BRZs, and they released plug and play ECUs for just about everything this last year. I want to see if they have anything new coming.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big one to talk to him tomorrow. But we also want to talk to him about some of the stuff that Jeremy Bailey's been doing, where he has fixed a lot of things using their ECU with doing an FA24 swap that made it really hard to do it with a stock ECU, and it is crazy easy using a Link if you know what you're doing. There is some stuff that needs to be done within the Link, and him and Graham at Boosted Performance Tuning have really figured some things out. The FA24 swap has never been easier. It is borderline plug and play at this point.
And that's a long block for the record. It's not
that's heads and everything.
Right. This is not the FA20 heads.
No, that setup was. This is going to produce more power. The FA24 heads just flow better than the FA20 heads.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing we were talking about too. When I was talking about FA24 blocks are coming, we're having a conversation about machining out the FA20 heads to be able. So if you
Okay.
have a FA20 WRX,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to put an FA24 block in it. If you send your heads in, we should be able to machine them out,
Really?
which should be huge for those guys.
Holy shit, that's insane. What is it? Okay.
We haven't done it yet. It's just feasible.
Okay. Same cam pickups, triggers, things like that.
The front cover should be the same. There's nothing. It shouldn't
Okay.
be too crazy.
Wow. And it's just a question of port size and
We've got some things. We got a couple of hoops we got to jump through. But we think we can make it a
you're
kit.
buying CNC'd heads. You know,
We think we can make it a kit.
it's not okay. So
It may even be we sell it as a long block.
how close is it to a true FA24?
We don't know
long
yet.
block? Okay.
It's
That's
just going to
cool.
be a really cool way to add some displacement.
Now it runs on the FA20 ECU.
Yes, it would
Really?
need a tune, but it would just run.
Yeah.
Because it would have all
Wow.
the same pickups and everything.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How many years did the FA20 live? 5 years?
It was
2015?
15 to 21.
2021. Yeah. Okay. Like call it 6 model years.
Yeah.
Good deal. You're going to make a lot of people happy. That was kind of a weird, like,
Sold a ton. Subaru sold a ton of those cars.
yes, they did. Kind of an orphan platform because it's got direct injectors only, that they were very small until Nostrum came out. And
They're a little larger.
yeah. What injectors would you use for that new 24?
You'd be an FA20 head, so you'd have to use FA20 injector.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But all your existing modifications you already have would work too.
Yep.
You wouldn't have to switch like FA24 headers.
It's just
or
a
an
big
intake
bore,
manifold or
a
anything.
big bore FA20.
Yeah.
You're going to break so many transmissions.
Yes.
You're going to break even
We need
more.
to, make Subaru great again. Let's go break some transmissions.
That's a
what's
great
up.
idea.
All
That
right.
was Haggerty had a video. Jason's drag race replay. With
Yeah.
$35,000 cars. He was like, all right, there's a WRX in this mix, and the only way to launch an all-wheel drive car is just redline and dump the clutch.
You ain't wrong.
You shouldn't do this, but to be fair, we did it all day and nothing happened. So thanks, Subaru.
It ain't my car.
It's exactly what he said. Hey, my car.
Yeah, it held up pretty good against that Mustang.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
It did.
it got second in that test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, third because the Elantra N front wheel drive was the finals. It was fastest front wheel drive versus fastest everybody else.
Yeah.
So probably third overall behind the Elantra N.
No, it beat the Elantra.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good deal. The only thing about that car is so weird is like a 6,000 RPM red line. Like, what are they thinking? The VB WRX.
They stroke the shit out of an FA20. That's what's going to happen. The rod ratio's in the toilet. It makes awesome torque and awesome horsepower, but I wouldn't rev that thing.
Let the dog eat.
Yeah, that's the like diesel-y FA20.
When I drove one, I drove a sales guy's personal car.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like a turbo car because of how the E-gate worked. So
Yeah.
it was just, ripping it, shift again.
It feels good though.
It feels solid.
It's an awesome daily.
I believe it.
Incredible daily driver.
Did Cobb ever come out with the trans tuning for the CVTs?
I think so, because Chris at Six Star was messing with it.
I don't know if
We should go talk to Cobb about it.
That's a great idea. I'm gonna add that to my list.
Add
Cobb,
that to your list.
Cobb, VB, CVT.
This is how we do PRI every year. Is we have this like we have conversations and we just keep writing stuff on lists to go talk to people about.
Yeah. I'm the keeper of the list.
You had like 10 other things we want to talk about.
Yeah, some of it is like Turbo Smart. You're gonna go talk to Turbo Smart.
Yeah,
Because
I already talked to Turbo Smart a little bit today.
Yeah.
They're really stoked about kind of like where we're at with Boogie.
Mhm.
One of the things that we were having problems with, they have this thing called a boost gate, which we're going to put on the cold side intercooler piping.
All right, so let's talk about that for people who don't know. So boost control is on the exhaust side where you just open the
Yes.
flap and the exhaust goes around the turbo, and that's how you keep it from overspinning and exploding.
Yeah, so let's say you snap your throttle plate closed though. So your throttle body, the plate goes closed.
Right.
What's going to happen is your turbo for a short period of time is going to keep continuing trying to make boost.
Right.
And you pressurize all of your
Intake
intercooler
in
piping.
front
This
of-
is why you have a bypass or blow off valve
Right.
to relieve that pressure.
Right.
But the problem is when it opens up, it lets all of it out.
Yes.
It's either none or all.
right.
It's not an in-between thing.
right.
This is why we want to mess with what they call the boost gate. And this is what we're trying to set up using Mtron, where it's going to bleed literally the exact minimum amount it needs. So we don't set the turbo into surge.
Right.
And we can see that due to pressure that we're getting from our T-map sensors. So it does temperature and pressure, and our wheel speed sensor on the turbo.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, so we can see before and after what's going on with this, and be able to basically make a map for that, and then use this thing called a boost gate to bleed the excess pressure out, but just the bare minimum you need. So then when you get back on it, all that pressure comes back that much faster.
Yeah.
So your throttle response is incredibly quick compared to getting rid of everything.
The impact is it's anti-lag without being so harsh on components.
It's anti-lag-ish, yes.
Yeah. It's
So
not a
what we
direct
have right
replacement.
now, because last year when we put all this concept together, they sent us this huge gate for it.
Wastegate.
Well, it's called a boost gate.
Oh, this was the boost gate.
Okay.
Okay.
And the problem is there's physically no place for us to put it. It's designed for like street outlaws cars.
Oh.
Okay, it's huge.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think it was going to work very well because it was so big. I think when we crack it, it would have been the same thing as letting a blow-off valve go rip.
Yeah, the size of the plant.
Yeah, like a 2% duty cycle on that was going to let everything out.
Yeah, you're sneezing everything.
So they make really small ones now.
Nice.
So we're going to, they're like a quarter of the size.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I think we're going to trade. Because we didn't get that installed because we had nowhere to put it. And he even was like, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Like, we have the wiring and everything ready to go for this.
Yep.
We just don't have a physical place to put it.
Yeah, I remember looking at it and Graham going, oh, this is not, opening fast enough. But the problem was it was opening plenty fast. It was just too much.
Well, he was messing with the electronic blow-off valve.
No, that's separate?
Yes.
So there's two electronic solenoids on the intake side.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
I didn't
So the
realize.
electronic blow-off valve, we may not, if we go to, the idea is to play with it with an electronic blow-off valve. And what Graham's saying is true. It's letting off too much too fast.
Okay.
He doesn't think it's going to work as well. But we put this little thing on there. The orifice is so much smaller.
Yeah.
It's only going to be able to let off a little bit. So we should be able to crack that a little bit, bleed just the amount of boost we need, and close it real fast.
So the boost gate is on the cold side?
Yes.
Separate from the blow-off valve?
Yes.
So where does the boost gate dump to?
Atmosphere.
Both of them are atmosphere.
Yes.
But one of them is precision.
One of them, what it's going to be, is more of a fail-safe for the boost. The blow-off valve will then become a fail-safe for the boost gate.
Okay, so
if pressure gets so high, it's got to get rid of it. Instead of it
Yes.
surging the turbo, it's just going to pop the blow-off.
So your plan for now is just traditional blow-off valve?
That's what we've been running.
Okay, and then the boost gate comes on. You're just going to keep the traditional blow-off valve?
We're first going to try to make this concept work with our electronic blow-off valve, because that directly just replaces a pneumatic blow-off valve.
I thought for some reason you could do both in one. Like if you wanted to dump everything, you could electronically, or if you wanted just like that feathering on the cold side, you could do that too from a single unit.
Well, I think Graham's trying to make that work with the electronic blow-off valve, and it's not quite working the way he wants it to.
Okay.
And the problem being, he can't bleed just a small amount.
Okay.
I think.
Wow.
I have a theory that if you were to change like the piston shape to where if it bled just a little, you give it a little duty cycle, the orifice is really small, and the more you open it, the bigger that orifice would get, instead of it clearing. Because if you think about it, once you clear a certain plane, it's going to open up drastically.
Well, some of these drag cars have like butterfly valves on the cold side, where
that's what a boost gate is.
Oh, I thought it was like a plunger. Oh, okay. So you have a plunger style for go all the way, which is the blow off valve. Otherwise, you have the butterfly valve. Okay.
Yeah,
that
it looks like a little throttle body.
Infinitely more sense why you would have two different items on the same.
The first one they sent me looks like a huge throttle body.
Yeah, like
for huge boost.
You run an LS.
If we were to like literally crack that at 1%, it's going to be effectively the same thing as a blow-off valve.
I don't think I saw that butterfly valve.
It's giant. No, so I'll show you when we go to Turbo Smart tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'll try to show you some pictures, or I'll show you what I'm talking.
I saw the E-gates. I'm pretty sure I saw the electronic blow-off valve. I
Yeah.
don't think I ever saw the
Electronic
butterfly.
blow-off valve looks like a normal blow-off valve with a wire off the top.
Yeah.
So
Okay. What else we got? Momo. That's on my list. Your list.
Yeah, we got to go chat with Momo. We got to get Boogie's got seats. And we
Momo
gotta
hits
chat.
the spot. I'm
Yep.
pretty sure that's their motto.
Something like that. We'll go with it.
All right. What else we got?
I don't know. You were writing stuff down at dinner.
I know. Let's see. So, GR86. Oh yeah, we were gonna look at Jeremy and I were gonna watch YouTube videos about the GR86 Cup, see if we could get any intel on them. Because Toyota made these really slick, like launch control style videos about the GR86 Cup, but they were like fast cuts and this and that.
Yeah.
You had to really like suffer through overproduction to see like the really cool stories of like some 21-year-old dude who can wheel and has just a truck
if you
and
watch
trailer.
the actual races, they're pretty good. Did you know the announcer for Grid Life does all of the announcing for those two?
I did, yeah. The guy whose voice I remember, Kyle, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
deal.
so I may or may not know a guy working with one of those programs right now. So he's got a lot of insider info on that. There's
Nice.
some neat development that may come from that racing program that I have a feeling is going to trickle into everything.
About time. And you know
Yeah.
what? The first thing needs to be an oil pan because you know how they
Look,
fixed
man,
it?
I can't say much, but what I can say is there's data being collected. This guy's background is heavily into engines.
Sure.
Okay, and that would be the obvious thing that they need to try to figure out. So let's just go with that.
Larry Chen snapped a picture and it was a stock oil pan with a basic baffle welded into it, and that's all they did. Oh yeah, do you? Okay. And then the 900 BRZ, this gentleman, computer guy from California.
Yeah, that guy's done God's work.
He
for
has
the
done
community.
God's work. Yeah, he's done more for the platform than goddamn near anybody.
Yeah.
Yep. He said that their engine failures in the Cup cars, like 2 of them they were running less oil.
Yep.
One of them they just forgot to put oil in it.
Yeah, the ones that were running less oil were trying to run to see if they could eke a little more horsepower out of, and they blew them up.
Yeah.
And the ones that are, I do know about that. And then if they just take care of them the right way, they're fine.
Yeah.
If they just follow the guidelines, they're fine.
Oh, this isn't on my list, but I've been meaning to talk to you about this for a while. We were talking a little bit about marketing at dinner and about how you want to like sell the experience or sell the product, or there was something else, some other vein that we were in, but Subaru needs to do something about everybody who doesn't really know Subaru saying, "Oh, they eat head gaskets." You and I talked about this before.
No, I have.
Needs to stop.
It is. Subaru should do. This is a great conversation. Did you see Subaru actually beats Toyota on the Consumers Report reliability?
They're
ratings?
at the top now, aren't
They
they?
are the top brand.
To be fair, Toyota has had some serious problems recently.
Yeah, but Subaru is the top brand.
Wow.
It's not above everything.
Number 1.
Yes, above Acura.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. That's an overnight sensation, like 30 years in the
Well,
making.
people are not going to want to hear this, especially guys like me. It took a couple of years, but after the EJ left, it's literally not within their numbers anymore.
Yeah. Better design. FAs are a lot better design.
Oh, an FA for a modern engine, if you don't screw with it, they're hammer reliable. The second you start doing silly stuff with it,
you're on your own.
But they're not going to warranty that.
Right.
So,
wow, that's good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a small company. All things considered, they are way smaller.
Now,
than
with
Honda.
that stated, the Subaru head gasket thing needs you only hear that out of enthusiasts or guys who haven't touched Subarus in 20 years.
It's like young men on Reddit who kind of know cars and just read things and think it's gospel.
Yeah, they just regurgitate something that somebody else said.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
But
it is, again, I've stressed this enough. A turbo Subaru that you aren't doing something stupid with.
Right.
Okay. Does not have head gasket issues.
Totally agree.
Most modern Subarus don't have head gasket issues.
Yeah.
There really is only one run of Subarus that had massive head gasket issues.
begin with.
And yes, They were massive, and that's the 2.5 liter NA engine.
Mhm.
The 2.2 and the 1.8,
Bulletproof.
no problem at all. Bulletproof.
That's right.
2 liter, 2.5 liter turbo, no problems.
And
H6s, totally fine.
there was a rash of rod bearing issues too, but
Yeah, that's. I mean, I got to be real. They've had their own. I'm not saying there has not been issues with Subarus,
sure.
but the head gasket specific issue that
Yeah.
you were talking about,
Yeah,
I am so sick of hearing it.
same. Totally
I'm
agree.
so sick of hearing it because it is a not like nobody runs around saying Chevys eat head gaskets, but the worst
Right.
head gasket vehicle I've ever heard of in my life is the Chevy 3100 V6, and they put that engine in everything. And the head gaskets were shit before you started the car.
Yeah.
They're awful. And nobody runs around saying, "Oh, Chevys have bad head gaskets." They had an engine with some shit head gaskets.
Yeah. No.
You don't even hear it about the Focus RS. This
No.
annoys me. Focus RSs have head gasket
They were
issues.
put on the wrong way. They blocked the coolant passage.
There was a massive problem with those things.
Yes.
Nobody talks about how they have head gasket issues.
Right.
They have massive head gasket
Do
problems.
you know what gets me? So that engine, or some derivative of that engine, 4-cylinder, big turbo. Don't want to call it big turbo. Went into the Mustang,
Yeah, still.
but the Focus RS is gone.
Yeah.
And it was only around for what, 2 years?
That was what was powering that Mustang that was in that video you talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the RS is gone.
It was around for like 4 years, but yeah.
I felt like it was 2, but if it's 4,
2,
okay.
maybe 3. It wasn't very long.
That's not enough time.
No.
I don't understand that.
Which sucks because that was actually kind of a neat platform.
Yes.
I-
But it had a fake all-wheel drive system that went front-wheel drive when it overheated.
Yeah, it's Heldex.
Yeah,
That's what
but
a lot of these companies are Heldex
you know,
based.
at least I don't know this for sure, but at least it was like temperature based versus we just pretend,
Oh yeah.
which is what the PR Corolla does.
What would happen with a Focus RS is it was temperature based, and it'd get to a certain temperature, and then it'd go front wheel drive.
Yeah,
My buddy's Brad, I think you remember Brad.
Oh.
Brad's car did this.
that's great.
And so the Corolla, the GR Corolla, like I thought that's how that worked too. I thought it
No.
was temperature based. It's not.
It uses an algorithm.
It literally is the ECU just doing some math and going, yeah, it's probably pretty warm now, and
Yeah.
just cuts it. Even if it's like 30 degrees out and like it could be
Yes,
totally fine.
Yes.
Or you added a cooler.
correct.
And you've done everything. You got
Correct.
fancy fluid, whatever you got to do.
You know what? It's like you're doing a group project and you run out of time and you just submit it with 9 out of 10 questions complete.
No, there is no fixing it.
No. And the
That's I got to be real. This is gonna sound I kind of wanted one of those cars.
yeah,
They're kind of dead to me now. After I found out that's how that worked,
yeah.
it's dead to me.
Ben at URW took me out in a grip and drift session which was one of the coolest car related experiences of my life, where you're like driving up to the driver's
Isn't it
door.
crazy?
That's so cool.
Yes.
The GR Corolla, but it's not a good car. Like he's a good driver, and he
Yeah.
was driving the wheels off of it, and it was like that was not a Subaru, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You know, he was trying hard to get it to spin, and like
Yeah.
he had to go out of his way to get it to do something dumb. Celica, I don't. Well,
I
yeah,
don't. They're.
It's gonna be a copy
I
paste.
think I think it's hype. It's all hype. If it
Yeah.
even happens, I don't see it.
But the concept. I just wanted to bring up the concept, which is, why would you do that? Why would you just like?
You so screw enthusiasts by doing that.
Well, Cyvex came up with an actual solution or whatever, but you know,
How much is that?
I don't know, and it's Cyvex, so
Yeah, we're not gonna get into that.
right, but like, why would you do that? It's like, it looks bad. As soon as they discover it, they go, what the hell is this?
You know what doesn't do that?
Subaru.
You damn right. An 05 STI, baby.
Yeah.
She just works. Let the dog eat.
So this, going back to the head gaskets, say what you want about Subaru, but they don't do weird stuff like that. If they're gonna put something on a car, you can go, okay, I can kind of see this. Okay, ring lens, or Jeremy's talking about ring lens. Different
Rings
story.
are a different thing. And there is, I got to be real. Subaru, because what they did is they took a NA engine I've told this story a million times. But what Subaru did back in 2002, 2003 timeframe is they wanted to match Mitsubishi's horsepower numbers, or at least beat them. They wanted to be right in that area, but they had to make it do it on California piss 91 octane.
Yes.
Okay, so they would never pass emissions in California on 91 octane to make that work. The easy way to do this was let's use our 2.5, just shove some turbo pistons in it. And now we have half a liter displacement advantage, and it's a lot easier to pass emissions and do what you need to do with more displacement and make the horsepower number they wanted. So that's what they did. But that came with some issues. The big one is the piston. The base design of the piston was really more of an NA design. It was a low compression piston, but it was an NA base design. So the ring land's really high up. The EJ20 doesn't have this problem, but the EJ25, they do crack ring lands because of that. The other thing is the sidewalls, or the cylinder walls, are really thin. They were not. It was designed to motivate grandma's Outback at 150 horsepower, not psychopaths with turbochargers on their STIs, bombing through mountains and then cranking it up with a ton of boost and just acting stupid. So they are a little too thin for big turbo use. At stock levels, they're okay. Anything past about 400 wheel, they become a pretty serious issue. In high mileage, they oval a little bit and they start burning oil real bad. This is why closed decking helps so much.
You beat me to it, which is it reduces the ovaling.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's more to closed decking than it just helps head gasket sealing, and the cylinder walls are reinforced. There's more to reinforcing the cylinder walls.
Sure.
So like, if you're gonna keep it under 400 horsepower, an IAG 550, so an open deck block, is great. Okay. People always wonder, why do you recommend the IAG 750 for anybody over 400 wheel? And it's because the cylinder walls on those are thin, and that's when they start doing weird shit.
Yeah.
Just go closed deck, and that engine will just last you longer.
Yeah.
You'll burn less oil. You'll get more mileage out of it. It'll make less noise. It'll be a better engine for you.
Yeah. Speaking of casting. Have any new information come out about castings on the FAs, FA24s, FA20s?
Well, not really.
Not really.
I got to be real, and it's Subaru's been rough with getting trying to. The big reason it took us so long to release engines. We like to use new castings. We like using new used stuff.
Right.
Okay. Subaru's been really hard to get just blank castings for us to use. So case halves.
Case halves.
Really hard.
We're 2.5 years out of COVID. What's going on?
I think Subaru's just getting stingy with it.
Really?
Yeah.
You would think that somebody would know, either in marketing or high up somewhere, that this sells more cars.
I think Subaru's fighting it, and I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah.
That's. I'm interested to.
I would love to get into the brain of what Subaru corporate thinks of certain things. Maybe they listen to this and they're like, these guys hate us. Fuck them.
No. Make Subaru great again.
I am all for. I would love nothing more than to help the company just slay it. Yeah. I would love nothing more than to drag people to Subaru dealerships.
Yeah. Man, the number of cars that I sold, I'm not even a Subaru ambassador, but I always had, friends that were with those $500 coupons. I'd say, I just speak with passion, and then people.
I've sold so many Subarus over the years.
I'm at 4 or 5 at this point, plus the 3 that I've bought.
I don't even want to get into how many I'm in, but it's a lot.
Yeah. God, just.
I don't know.
Well, okay, so Subaru raised the price on some other parts too. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast.
Believe me, it showed up, and we recently had a price hike in it.
Yeah.
There were some parts that went way up. Like the front cover of an FA20 for a WRX went way up.
What for?
I don't know.
Do you guys have a guy, or is it just like a dealer parts guy that is okay with doing volume orders?
We we have a very serious account. Like, I don't
Okay.
know how much I can talk about that. But
Sure.
we're as close to basically being an actual like selling dealer as you could possibly be without having a Subaru logo on the front of our.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's a really small world. So, yeah, you or whoever just doesn't trip over one of these people at Subaru of America and go, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. It's
I don't.
just-
I would love to have a chat. I got to be real. I would love to have him on the podcast and
Yeah.
just shoot the bull with him. It would probably be a riot.
Yeah.
This
That-
is a community podcast, and that's really what this is always supposed to be. So
This-
if there is somebody out there listening, I'm super easy to get a hold of. Dewey, so that's DEWEY at IAGperformance.com. Hit me up. Let's chat.
Yep.
I don't, in no way do I want this to be ugly. I
No.
would love to chat with you guys.
No.
And I think it'd be a lot of fun. And I think the community would love to hear from you. And let's do it if you are listening.
Yeah, Turbo Smart listens. That's for sure. So
Vermont Sports Car Listens, maybe
Yeah.
through VSC and go
yeah,
around. I don't
yeah.
know. I'm actually, that always blows my mind. The people who are like, oh, I was listening to your podcast. I'm like, really? That's awesome.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty cool. Gosh, where was I had one more thing I was going to pull out of my brain about this,
Yeah,
which
it's probably
is
genius. I
yeah.
can't wait. Don't
Um,
leave me in suspense.
Subaru's fighting it. Gosh,
These are a little dark, but I like them.
no, I don't think so. All right, we're talking about the hero cards for a second.
Yeah, sorry.
This looks really good. So, Van is the more talented of the two, but I think Justin had a lot of help from Van, or maybe Justin like
I think Justin almost soloed this.
wow.
And Van would just kind of like looked over and went, is it really solid here? Is it
Yeah.
yeah.
This is solid. The paper is on really nice. I'm glad
Yeah.
you didn't skip the gloss trying
Yeah,
to
those
rush
guys
it.
are good people.
Semper Printing out of Arlington Heights, Illinois.
Yep, good dude.
Couple
Marines
Marines in a race team buying
helping
hero
Marines.
cards for Marines.
Marines helping Marines.
That's right.
You
That's
got it.
right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think. Oh, JE. So you went to see JE Pistons today.
Yeah.
Got anything you can say about that?
They got some really, really cool new gas ports that they're messing around with.
Pistons.
Yeah, on their pistons.
Okay.
I don't know if you're gonna see that show up in our stuff or not. I have a feeling we might be maybe testing some things with them on it.
Mhm.
I don't know how much I'll be able to talk about that, but we do a lot of work with JE.
Nice.
Everybody knows that our pistons are made by JE. They're a custom piston that JE makes for us
Mm.
using some of their proprietary technology. And yeah, it's just I'd be interested to see if we screw around with that in some of our higher end engines, or maybe do some testing with Boogie. But their gas ports are pretty cool.
That'll be all right.
They
Yeah.
instead of them going straight through the top of the piston, they actually go down the side. It's interesting. I'll show you, because they have a piston
Okay.
over there with a traditional gas port,
Mm.
and then one with their newer gas port. And they actually found that their design will seal the rings a little bit better.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty sick. Gas ports are kind of a new concept to me,
Okay.
but long story short, it basically is it uses these ports to push the ring
Outward from
feel
the
better.
inside.
Yeah.
Using gas pressure.
when you need it to be there, and then chills out when you kind of don't.
when it's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Is that a new concept in general, or
I
just
don't think so, but how
Okay.
they're implementing it is.
okay? Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff. And I don't know, we're gonna have a whole lot more we could talk about next week on this too, which I'm pretty excited about.
For sure. Yeah, I'm making a list of what the things what we're gonna go do, and then I'll
Yeah.
just make another list of what all we
Sure.
did.
As we're walking around, we'll list it out. Other than that, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
See.
Wait, yeah, what's going on in the old chat? Bill?
I can't see this because your PC locked and the password again.
he's got the thing.
Right. Right.
We'll take a peek at the chat. See,
Yep.
see who's talking.
Oh, so you're buying your kid a car sometime in the future?
Yeah.
What's at the top of the list for the one Mini Cooper driver that listens to this podcast?
So I think we're gonna buy a car for Sunday Cup specifically, and there really isn't a Subaru that fits in Sunday Cup correctly. And I'm kind of a closet Mini fan, so it's gonna be an '05 or '06. It has to be one of those two, base Mini
Okay.
with no sunroof.
Okay.
Manual base Mini with no sunroof.
Yeah.
So we're on the hunt for one. If you guys see one out there,
Well, I think that's exactly what he has.
base Mini Cooper.
Yes.
It can only be those 2 years.
Supercharged.
Do not call me with an '07. Do not call me with an '04.
Okay.
'05, '06 base, not S base.
Supercharged.
No,
Okay.
base.
Okay.
An S is supercharged.
Oh, a friend has a supercharged one, but I'm pretty sure it's not an
It
S.
100% is an S then.
Okay. Okay. I don't know my
Base,
minis.
NA, single jingle.
Okay.
Okay.
Single jingle.
It is a very base front wheel drive car. No sunroof, manual only.
Oh, this is for Sunday Cup.
Sunday.
Got it. So it's 25 pounds to 1 horsepower.
Yes.
Race
This
category.
is a slow car, and it's awesome. And I truly stand by. It's the perfect car for the class.
Do they do any Sunday Cup endurance races where you need?
They were talking about it and then didn't.
Okay.
I think they need to.
Dude, I would do that.
I would be down in a heartbeat.
I would. I would.
Yeah.
I would bring a friend.
Oh
I would,
my
I
god,
would bring
it'd be
a
so
friend.
fun.
We would have a riot. I fit so well in a Mini. I know you do.
Yeah. Could you imagine like us three just ripping laps? Yeah, we'll stick. Fuck it, producer Jordan, you're in.
Yep.
You tapped in.
Yep. We gotta
just
do
as tall. We'd fit perfectly in
Yeah,
this.
we are the same height, so we wouldn't have to mess with the seat. Whoever pisses in the seat's getting their ass beat. Okay.
All right, let's see here. We got some questions in the chat. First one, Bailey, you're from the South. Are you a tea fan?
Drink tea.
He says.
He says,
we
yeah, here.
we
Yeah.
drink
If
tea.
he's answering the question, let him answer the question.
It's not so much being a fan as it's just in my blood. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, do you
It's
like?
a southern thing.
Do you breathe air? Yes, I do.
Tea by God.
See.
Southern by birth, tea by God.
Big Hoffa Smokehouse. All right, I'll check that out. Thanks, Jake. Let's see here. 201,000 miles on our 2019 Ascent with an unopened motor.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah. Those things are tanks,
I
dude.
thought people didn't like them for, I
They're
don't
tanks.
know. Really?
You don't hear about them because they don't break down.
Was it transmissions they were kind of hating or what?
Well, the only time transmissions came into play is when people were really, really, really trying to tow hard with them.
Okay.
And is that Brad? Because if it ain't Brad, I know
No.
Brad beats the shit out of his towing.
Yeah.
He still has it for towing,
Yeah.
and it doesn't care.
Now that's with the trans cooler. Now the base model doesn't have a trans cooler, so
Yeah, I
or
think
didn't.
to
Yeah.
tow, you're gonna want the trans cooler.
So Jake says trans is sketchy, real sketchy, and also eats front struts. That kind of makes sense.
Heavy.
Kind of heavy.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Nonetheless, 200,000 miles on a 2019. That's
I would not
5
be mad
years.
about if I had to do 2 or 3 sets of front struts in that time period.
Yeah.
Whatever, I don't care.
Right.
I just get
It's an
those
SUV.
Monroe quick struts and toss them in.
Yeah. Rock Auto. Rock
Yep.
Auto. Rock on.
I can get those too.
Ant says Subaru XV, Forester, and Outbags are big here in Australia. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
None of them have a V8 though, so not that big in Australia. Because like they just everything's V8.
Everything. Yeah.
Everything.
They put V8s in everything.
They, I think they like bald eagles more than we do.
Maybe, but I could see those doing really well. I could see those doing really well there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
for the longest time, everybody in the United States, because of those Crocodile Dundee commercials, thought Australia or
Subaru was an Australian company.
brand.
Yeah,
Like so many people thought Subarus were Australian.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The name Subaru does not sound Australian.
Oh man.
love you,
Oh,
Billy.
that took and Outback. Of course. You know,
Yeah, well, that's why.
Right. Subaru Outback.
Yes.
It just makes sense.
Yes. And that was the only car anybody could name in the 90s of what's a Subaru? Oh, an Outback.
Yep. Ant says we're starting to get T-Rexes and F-150s here in Australia. So weird, they don't fit in parking spots.
Yeah, imagine that.
they don't fit that well here, but
Did you ever see that really old review on Top Gear of Jeremy Clarkson driving around in a Ford Lightning? He- Down some little town, he went to go to the grocery store, and to go get groceries or
F-150 Lightning.
And he couldn't fit anywhere, and then he was at a street light or something, and somebody stole the groceries out of his out of a bed because he's like, you can't even lock it, you know. He just totally didn't get the appeal of a pickup truck.
Nice.
He's like, this sounds nice, but everything else is terrible.
Yeah. F-150 Lightning. What a car.
Whatever
Vehicle. What a vehicle.
What a car.
So let's see. What else do I have? I got to think about this a little bit.
I got a weird question for you.
Go
Ready
for
for
it.
this?
Yeah.
If Subaru were to, and I want you to answer this as not as a Subaru enthusiast,
Okay.
as just some regular butthole walking down the road.
All right.
Okay. Would Subaru be successful in re-releasing the Baja?
Oh man, so the Santa Cruz from Hyundai is decently popular, and so is the Honda Ridgeline.
The Honda Ridgeline came and went though because it wasn't popular.
Oh, I thought it
I don't
was.
think they make a current Ridgeline.
Oh, I thought it was like top of its class. Maybe it was for reliability.
It's
rather than
very reliable. It's a Honda. I don't think it would do well. But I think the Gravel Express would slay it.
Man.
So if they put a turbo engine inside of a Crosstrek, again, Subaru, if you're listening, please listen to me.
So the problem with truck beds is they got to do truck stuff, and you can't stick anything in a Baja except for a couple people in some backpacks.
They sold
or something.
a lot of Avalanches.
It said, I don't know. I got no excuse for that, but
Okay.
you know what I mean. But I don't think Baja goes anywhere. You'll get a handful of people buy it and that just love Subaru.
I can tell you the price of Bajas are going through the roof right now.
So I think if I had to pick one answer, it'd be no. They would not make money on it.
I don't think it would work.
They would probably screw up the styling again because half of the cars they sell right now are weird, and the other half are actually really good looking but weird. So
they're not weird enough.
Like the VB, okay, drag race replay, the Haggerty video with Jason Camisa. The VB looks
Charisma.
Camisa?
No, I think it's Charisma.
Oh, it's CAM ISA.
No, I think you need to look it up.
No way. Get out of here.
I'm dead serious.
No. But so I hated the VBWRX.
Justin, look it up.
I started looking at it a bunch in person. I'm like, okay, it's not so bad. And then on this YouTube video, it's back to ugly. It's an ugly car. Ugly car. You put it next to other cars, it's ugly. It's very angular. It's very
it's not everything.
Spaceship.
The only thing that's making it ugly is its weird fender flares. I'm sorry. That is the only
it's really boxy.
Quality of that. The only thing on that car that makes it drastically different than whatever the hell else is driving down the road. If it was a silver that without bright black fender flares, it would blend in with everything.
Still really boxy. But then again, some of the Hyundai design language is that way too.
Angular. All the Decepticon stuff is gone.
Yeah. Honda walked way back. They were gonna jump off a building.
Man.
They walked
way
back.
They were hardcore Decepticon, and now they make boring cars.
FL5 is an adult.
Joey and I, did you listen to last week's podcast with me and my brother?
I was on it.
Yeah. Decepticon.
Yeah. He's not.
We
wrong.
don't need to get back into that.
No. So yeah, Subaru. I don't think they make money on a Baja.
Actually, I won last week, so it's 2 weeks ago.
I tell you what though, Gravel Express.
That would kill it, Subaru. If you're listening, once again.
Yep.
Stick a. You can even detune it. WRX engine.
Yes.
Okay.
Put the high torque transmission in it, and then everything else.
Give us a manual. Okay.
No, I would say they.
I don't. Whatever you want to do.
Please
give me a turbo engine inside of the Crosstrek.
It would be
whether it's a
CVT
CVT or not. Just give me a turbo engine inside the Crosstrek.
Yep.
I will be there. Everybody is. They want this.
Yeah. Yep. Do you know what I want? I want a hybrid that can tow things. I want a tiny little gas engine that's 1 liter and then
You
I
can't
want
tow anything with that.
I want a battery pack, and
You're gonna tow for about 35 feet. That's gonna be pretty badass to the end of the parking lot.
Will be
oh boy,
to the end of the
I don't know, man.
I want electricity to do the work. I want electricity to do the work, and then it'll recharge when I'm cruising. That's what I want. So just that 1 liter is just hating life
I don't know, bro.
or idling, nothing in between.
You know,
That's what
I
I
don't
want.
know, man.
So
I love you.
so
You are literally the enthusiast that Subaru wish existed. Like maybe they're just watching your conversations, and that's why these cars are coming out the way they are, because they think you are like peak Subaru enthusiast.
it's very very possible the Illuminati's watching.
Like, who are you watching for this shit?
Yep. God bless. All right, Jeremy, any last thoughts? Any last comments? All right.
No, I think
Hey,
that's about it.
I'll tell you what. So we're gonna go get dinner with a bunch of people tomorrow. I have a
We're going to
feeling.
a cop party tomorrow.
Yes, we are. It's gonna be great. It's been a few years.
Been a few years since been to a cop party.
Yeah.
Be fun to chat with them.
I hope Mike McGinnis is there. I'm just gonna ask him a million questions and see if he gets mad.
Yeah. Listen, I'm about to blitz you with a ton of questions about stability control.
Right.
I will buy you a drink.
It's gonna
if
be
you just
open
answer
bar.
questions.
It's gonna be open bar. He's either gonna be like, "Bro, I just want to shut my brain off and drink." That's what Graham was gonna do, but like,
Grant, yeah.
or Mike's gonna be like, "Hell yeah, let's go."
Let's go.
Nothing in between.
It's gonna be funny.
Dad, tell me all about stability control.
Dad. All right. Well, this has been a good time. We will catch you guys next week. Hopefully we have more answers than we have right now. And yeah, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. And we will see you all next time.